Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. So in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how I cut this beautiful baby dress you're watching on the screen right now. So I'll be showing you in details of how I cut it. So if today is the first time of watching my channel, you're welcome, and if you're a return subscriber, you're welcome as well. So the fabric I use for this tutorial is a scuba material, and for this tutorial I'll be using just 1 yard of scuba material for this tutorial. And this baby dress you're watching on the screen right now is for a 4-year-old baby girl. So let's get back to work and see how it goes. Thanks for watching the channel. God bless you. Let's get started. So here is the fabric. So here is the fabric we are working with. Like I said earlier, I said the material we are working with, it's a scuba material. Now, the length I'll be working with in this tutorial is the length of 24. Then I'm going to add just 1 inches for sewing allowance. I'll be adding just 1 inches for sewing allowance, and then to bring out the measurement, I'll be using the girl hip measurement. Our hip measurement is 25. So our hip measurement is 25. 25 divided by 4. Then I'm going to add good 2 inches to our hip measurement. Then I'm going to cut it out. I hope you understand it to this point. Then I'll cut it out. So I'm going to cut it out right now. After cutting it out, I'll be using this front piece to cut the back piece. Then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add 1 inches for my zip allowance to the back piece. So I'm going to measure it now. This is my 1 inch for my zip allowance. So I'm going to cut it out. So this is it after cutting it out. This is what we have after cutting it out. So now the next thing we're going to take down is to take our body measurement. We are going to take our body measurement. We are going to be taking the shoulder, the bust, the waist, and the hip measurements. Those are the measurements we'll be needing for this tutorial. So for the shoulder measurement, I'll be using, our shoulder measurement is 11. Our shoulder measurement is 11 plus ½ inch sewing allowance. I already had the ½ inch sewing allowance, so I have 12 right here. Now, because let me tell you something. Now you can see that I use 12 for the shoulder measurements, right? And I use 5 here. The reason why I use 5 here is because it's an armless. So when it is an armless, it's not compulsory that the armhole should be wide. You understand? So that it will not be showing an armpit. So I -1 from the armhole measurement. Initially, I supposed to be using 6. Anything I use for the shoulder is what I always use for the armhole. But in this sense now, because it doesn't have hand, I decide to -1 from the armhole measurement because I don't want it to show an armpit. I hope you understand that. Anytime you want to cut your armless, make sure that you -1 from the initial measurement, because so that the armhole will not be too big. Now to get your armhole, so we use 5 here. What is the half of 5? We have 2.5. For the half of 5 is 2.5. Can you see? 2.5. So I'm going to click 2.5 here. Then I'll measure ½ inch inward. This is it. Then I'm going to use my armhole curve to do that now. I'll be using my armhole curve to mark my armhole out. Sorry for the delay. I'm just trying to like get it perfect. I don't want to. Can you see that? So that is for the armhole. So that's the arm. The next thing I'm going to do now is the girl bust measurement. Our bust is 20. Our bust is 20. I'll be using 28 for the bust. It's not that our bust is 28, but initially it's a free top, so I have to add to our bust measurements. The measurement is not taken fitted. The measurement is taken free. That's why our bust is 28. You understand? When you are taking measurements for this type of style, it's a free top, so you have to like. So I'm going to connect the waist measurement to the bust measurement. Now, from our waistline to our hip is 4 inches. From our waist to our hip line is 4 inches. Then I took our hip measurement. Then I'm going to like connect it as shown. Let me cut it out and see what we got. Is because the style we're working with is a free style. The style we're working with is a free style. That's why I added enough to the measurements. Now, for our neckline, I'll be using 2.5 by 2.5 for our front neckline. 2.5 by 2.5. That's what I'll be using for the front neckline. Then for the shoulder slope, I'll be using ½ inch. I'll be using ½ inch for our shoulder slope. So this is it. This is my ½ inch. Then I'm going to connect it as shown. Can you see that? Now, to our back neckline, I'll be using the same 2.5, but it's going to be by 2.5 by 1 inches for the back neckline. 2.5 by 1 inches. Can you see? So I'm going to cut it. Let's cut it out right now. First, I cut the front neckline. And I'm going to cut the back neckline as well. And I'll cut the shoulder slope of a thing. Then I'm going to cut the back because of the seam that we are going to be fixing at the back side. So that is that about that concerning the body. This is what we have after cutting the body. Now, let me explain this to you. This is the front bodies. For the bow that we are going to be putting at the down part of the body, we are going to measure the down parts. Now let's measure it now. You're going to measure the down part. Don't worry about what I'm measuring. Don't worry about this. Now let's measure it. What do we have here? I'll be using this one. So initially, what do we have here? We have 16 plus the one I minus, which is 1 inches. So everything we have here at the down part is 17. Now I'm going to measure this. So this is 13. So this 13 now is not enough. It's not enough for what I want to use it to do. It's not enough. So I'm going to refold another one. It's not wide enough, can you see? So I just refold another one. So this one that I just refold now is 10. Can you see? On fold is 10, but I'm going to reduce it to 9.5 on fold. 9.5. So when you open it, it's going to give you 19 on fold. 19. When you open it, it will give you 19, but on fold it give me 9.5. So now, depending on how wide you want your bow at the down part to be, but for this one that I make, that you're watching on the screen, I use 9.5 on fold. Then I'm going to measure the wideness. I'll be using the 17 that will measure for the down part. Don't forget, I'll be using the 17 that I measure for the down part. Okay, so this is 9.5. Then let's measure out our 17 now and cut it out. This is the 16 that I will initially need, plus 1 inches for the folding at the down, for the folding. And you see, so initially this is 17 that we will need. This is the 17 that I'm going to be cutting. Now don't forget that we are going to be folding this as well. So I will add 1 inches to it again to make it 18. Can you see? To make it 18, you have to cut it extra. You have to add your sewing allowance to it, so that by the time you want to add it to the down part, it will not be short. You understand? So I added just 1 inches. Initially the down part is 16, but because it has to be inside, so I added 1 inches. Then I had 1 inches again for the folding, because I'm going to be sewing it, for sewing allowance on this particular bow. So that's why I added the 1 inches for the folding round, because I'm going to be folding it. I'm going to be sewing it all around. So it's a very, very simple style. The cutting and sewing cannot take you more than 1 hour to sew this. 1 hour, the cutting and sewing. Now for the bow, the one I'm going to be using on the bow, I cut out 5 by 3.5. 5 by 3.5. So I'm going to cut it out. Let's cut it out now. 5 by 3.5. This is it right now, right here. So this is it. So I'm going to sew it. I'm going to sew the small one round. After sewing it, I'm going to use this. So I'm going to use this to cover it as shown. Can you see? So this is what I'm going to have for the down part. After I sew it, I'll be fixing this at the down part of the gown. So I'll be showing you in details of how I'm going to do this in the sewing tutorial. Thanks so much for watching my channel. So after I sew everything, I'm going to be cutting lining. I'll be cutting lining because I'll be using lining to turn it, because I want it to be very, very neat. So I use lining to turn it. So after sewing it together and do it, this is what you're going to have after sewing it. And I use these trimmings to design it. Thanks so much for watching my channel, and we are going to be seeing each other in my next tutorial. Thank you for watching the tutorial.